I am Gilbert Que from instructor from the Department of Communication and the Department of History. I'm known for bringing a lot of bringing a lot of costumes and cultural things to class. I like to present a lot of things because especially since it's a history class, and sometimes it's hard to imagine like what life was like before or how people really wore their clothes. The photos and the videos sometimes they help, but it's still different if you bring actual things like these ones for them to see, sometimes for them to touch. I make the lessons interesting enough so the students in the future, if they have time, they can they'll probably be interested to visit other countries in Asia or even outside and learn more about their history and culture. This is one of the classrooms that I use. So my main job is really to teach students. But of course, just like any other full-time faculty here, we do other things outside class, like conferences, office work that's in relation to our department. Normally, I start my day, making sure that I have everything prepared, and then I go to school and I spend the whole day in class. But there are days that I don't really need to come to school, but on those days I'm very busy preparing for my classes, especially since I bring a lot of props and a lot of little things to my classes, and I also do some research as well. I think since I was young, I already had this inclination to teach.
But why do you think education is so important for someone?
Well, one, it imparts knowledge to students. Second, it should, good education should train students not only to know things like in history, it doesn't only, it's not only supposed to teach you, oh, this is what happened on this date, or this is the person who did this or did that, but it should also teach you how to think and how to understand and how to analyze given the facts that are being thrown to you or given the facts that you are able to encounter in books or from other people. And so in my case, I come to class, I don't just give facts to students like, oh, this is what happened, but it is also my job to make students think, to make them think, to make them understand, to make them have many reflections and realizations, so they can hopefully be able to find ways to improve society, to contribute more to society.
But most of the time we forgot after the semester what we learned.
I know that not everything that I learned in my classes I will get to use in my life, but at least based on all these things that I learned, I am able to go around a certain situation more easily, because if one way of analyzing something doesn't work, maybe another way of thinking about a certain issue or maybe another way of analyzing it would work. So this is the way that students are supposed to be trained in education. They learn how to think from different angles. They learn how to think differently.
So what do you like in your job?
Normally, people think that when we're talking about education, so example, you have a teacher here, and then you have your students, then there is some kind of hierarchy there. The teacher is always above the students, and the teacher just imparts everything to the students, and the students are just there. They just sit and they just stay quiet and absorb everything that the teacher has to say. But I think that education should not be like this, because it is very, I mean, it's not really education, Yes, you're imparting knowledge, but it is just like sharing information and that's it. And you can actually do that quite easily on, Google or Wikipedia, So for me, I think the best part about education is, a more horizontal approach, So example, here is your teacher, and the students are here, and there is a symbiotic relationship between the two. So it is the teacher giving something to the students give back to the teacher, and at the end of the semester or at the end of the school year, both the teacher and the students' lives are enriched. So I think that's the more proper way of learning. So yes, again, I do teach, I do impart knowledge. I of course do my own research about the things that I'm going to teach. But it always surprises me that the students give back a lot every semester. Sometimes the students might not give, let's say, additional information, but sometimes there are questions from students that leave me stumped, at the end of the day. So sometimes I would think, oh, why did I think of this question before? And then I would research, and then I would answer the class the following meeting or something. And at the end of the day, we both learn. So I think that's the best thing about my job.
What's the hardest part of your job?
Students who have a lot of excuses to not do the work. I try my best to give very clear instructions to my students. And I am always open to students asking me questions if there are some instructions that are not clear to them. But some students, I don't know, they're probably too complacent, or they just don't bother to read the instructions clearly, and they end up doing the wrong thing. And of course, sometimes I get blamed for the things that they do wrong. That's the part that I don't like to happen, and it's the hardest part of my job, because sometimes I'm forced to fail a student, which is something that I really don't want to do.
If you wouldn't do this job, what will you do?
Something related to diplomacy, soft diplomacy. But another thing that is also on my mind is probably a theater actor, because I'm also active in theater. I have been in the Moving Actors Society of Championship College for 15 years.
Thank you very much for all this, Keisha.
Yeah.